You call it the sophomore bump because I've always dealt more with the sophomore wall. But you go ahead and hit me with the bump because I want to talk to you a little bit about the sophomore wall as we get through this because I find that a little bit. I think I disagree with you there a little bit more.
So yes and no. I mean, there definitely is we've definitely seen situations where a guy's numbers, a guy's shooting percentage, what have you, might drop in their second year. But in general, I think that rookies tend to be bad, and it's not because they don't make shots, although it can be. Uh, it's more that adjusting to the speed and physicality of NBA play, rookies make lots of mistakes. So if you look at impact metrics, I mean, if you make one mistake that costs your team 1 point for 100, one mistake a game, the extra that you learn to not make going forward, that is a massive, massive. That's close to 3 wins a season. Just like eliminating that kind of one mistake a game. Probably from the amount most players play, it's probably about 2 wins per season. But that's the difference between rookies and sophomores is as you're, especially the first couple of months in the league, things are happening too fast. You're in the wrong place defensively. You're shooting when you should pass. You're holding the ball when you should point five. You're not taking an open three when you should. And as players learn in the NBA game, those little things start to get ironed out. And so even if sort of the top line numbers might drop as a sophomore player, those mistakes tend to go away also. And that's I think where the sophomore bump comes in because they're just not going to do that shit anymore.
Yeah, but I also kind of look at it as also teams have a better understanding of who that player is.
That's a great
And
point.
now, especially the ones that are more the high usage ones, like Paolo
Mhm.
Banchero is a guy who I'm going to be very interested to see how his sophomore season goes. Not because I don't think he's good or anything, just now teams understand they have film, they know how Jamal Mosley's going to use him. They have an understanding of that stuff and so on. So I think that's the interesting thing to me with the sophomore bump versus the sophomore wall. I don't think one is right or wrong. I just think that's part of some of the stuff there. But I know knowing that you're using the sophomore bump to kind of weight some of these guys up, uh, help you kind of evaluate the rookies from last season is something that I kind of just was like, all right, well, there is that wall kind of comes in a little bit, and we saw it last year with I mean, everybody we felt like was fair or unfair was upset with Scotty Barnes, with Evan Mobley, some of the major rookies that we had that we didn't feel like we got the major lift out of them that we thought we might possibly have.
I thought that was much more fair with Barnes than it was with Mobley. I think Mobley was pretty damn good last year. Sort of the improvements we wanted, and I talk about this in the piece, the improvements we wanted to see from him were largely on the offensive end. Okay, well, you also just traded for Donovan Mitchell. So when is he going to get a chance to show those things since you now have, in addition to an all-star point guard and Darius Garland, now you have another one. So it's not like he's going to get a lot more reps in his second year than he did in his first. And he was just excellent defensively. So I'm not sure what more we could have reasonably expected from Mobley last year. Barnes, I think it's fair to say, um, mm, did he take a step back or did he just did he plateau? There wasn't the trajectory that I think we would have liked to see, and certainly the Raptors would have liked to see, given some of the reporting on how highly they valued him in trade talks.
Yeah, or the Raptors could have actually put together an actual plan in terms of what they were going to try to do as a team for a season. Instead, they just completely sucked. But that's a whole story for another time.